look into this whole metaverse, um, fake world simulation type environment. So I think based on, some of the things and some of the steps that Facebook has taken, that some of this, it may be some truth to it.
Well, I mean, it's not a question of whether or not there's truth to it. It is true. Facebook as a platform, as a service, does have issues when it comes to younger users. Flat out, like you mentioned, younger users are going to apps like TikTok, a little less so Instagram, Google, YouTube, but then Roblox and Fortnite and PlayStation and Xbox, that sort of thing. They do not have that at Facebook as a platform. And that's important when I'll explain a little bit later. Facebook as a platform, as a service, does not have that thing that will bring users in my opinion, they never will. Now, the younger users may gravitate towards TikTok and all these other things. Once they become our age, they may come back. But again,
Hmm.
Facebook's kind of nervous, they're kind of paranoid, or they're just money hungry and they just want to make sure they get as much money as possible as soon as possible, which is why they toyed around with Messenger for kids that people hated. They toyed around with Instagram for kids, people hated.
The
So,
reels that they
right.
brought in, that's kind of similar to TikTok.
Right, right. That people are using, but not
Mm-hmm.
as popular as TikTok. People are bringing their TikToks over to Instagram Reels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus, which is that's not what Facebook wants you to do. They want you to be in Instagram to create the reel, but that's not the
Mm-hmm.
case, right? So, what I think Facebook is going to do, or what I've read and I agree with, they won't change their name. They'll pull a Google, and what they'll do is they will create a parent company. For instance, Google did it, they called it Alphabet.
Alphabet.
And then under Alphabet, there's Google, there's Android, there's YouTube, there's all these other things that Google does. So they can then say, okay, these different verticals address these different use cases or different groups. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I think Facebook may do is Facebook won't change its name. Facebook will be a Facebook. It will be a platform that does all the things that Facebook claims you want them to do. But the company won't be Facebook. It'll be
So it'll be
something else.
you're thinking a level up. So you'll
Right.
have a parent company. Facebook will just be one of those lines
And
that come
then
from the parent company. Then they'll have the other
right,
streams from
right.
there.
So then they can create or research or play around with this new platform or this new vertical that can get these young folks. So then they can say, okay, well, Facebook doesn't have a problem anymore. Well, it always have a problem, but they can focus Facebook on the customers that are there now. And then, like I mentioned, experiment, whether it be with Oculus and then to an extension the metaverse. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's Facebook's play to try to attract younger users by using virtual augmented reality. That's what they think is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the hook to get that younger age group in by creating this metaverse because
Mm-hmm.
you already see it. People are in Roblox, like you mentioned. I have an 11-year-old that spends all of her allowance in Roblox. So that's that young group. We've got TikTok where people are making millions of dollars, and TikTok could care less about a Twitter or a Facebook or an Instagram or YouTube, right?
They
So,
go where the money is, and TikTok is the money for them.
right. And it's influence and it's what people are talking about, right? So, Facebook as a platform may not ever get to that point. But what Facebook is, Mark Zuckerberg has decided to do is okay, well, we're going to use Facebook and just stay Facebook. Then we'll experiment to get the younger folks into our ecosystem. It just may
Mm-hmm.
not be Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, Facebook, the company, they do own Instagram and WhatsApp, and all of those, like you said, it does make sense when you think about it that way. They have an umbrella company, and then separate out those streams underneath, and they can kind of play with the numbers and play with the perception, so that it can, maybe they will specifically cater Facebook to the older generation. and say, this is your space, this is just for you. See, young people, the old people have their own spot. This is your spot over here. Come and join us, be our friend. Let us sell you things, let us track you, etc.
Right.
So it should be interesting to see tomorrow what comes out of their company's annual conference. Um, to see if we, are on trend, or what they ultimately decide to do, or how they ultimately decide to structure it. Maybe find out the company name and those type of things. So it will definitely be interesting to see how it really does play out, because they do have to do something, because they are losing market share and they are losing ground with these younger Gen Z, Alpha, Beta, Sigma, Theta generations.
Right, right. Don't get caught up like Issa Rae and
No,
them.
I'm not trying to get canceled for saying the Greek alphabet. I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't come at me. But if you want to, you can, because I don't care.